Go. There we go. Okay, so we are live.
Woo.
There we are.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. Hopefully it doesn't come out like shit. I didn't get a chance to test this, so if the stream is bad, I do apologize. We'll never do this again. But if it looks great, hello, welcome everyone. This is Notorious by Chance. And this is the top 5 with Chance Ellison. So, this is a show I used to do a long time ago. I used to do this pretty frequently. This is before Shimon, before I got picked up, before I broke big, if you might say. But then I got really behind production. The podcast took off, and then I really just got hammered in production. I just didn't get a flow schedule right, but now I have it down. And Russell and I committed to do more videos this year, and this is a show I really wanted to bring back. I know a lot of people liked it, so here we are. It is back, and last podcast we did The Mandalorian with our guest Laura Kelly. Go listen to that where podcast you found. It was a great show. So I thought to tie it in, first episode top 5. We're starting big with the top 5 Star Wars characters, and I have a wonderful panel to talk about with me today. So first up on my whatever side this is, I guess this is my it's my left.
You can do it, Chance. You can do it. I believe in you.
I think on screen it's the right.
Yes.
One half of what the show. You might recognize me from sleeping on their couch for a week.
Yeah.
And nearly getting stuck there because COVID almost stranded me.
Yeah.
That particular couch. It is Mike Deacon and Bethany Curl. Mike, Bethany, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Very happy to be on.
Of course. Thank you.
Talk Star Wars with friends.
Right next to them, immediate next to them, you may recognize it from a certain point of view. Great Simone After Show. Maybe you should have won After Show of the Year. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you that, but I'm not going to disagree either.
So it's Jill Bensolino. Hi, Jill. How you doing?
Hello. I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
And on the farthest side, my newest teammate, actually, this new Star Wars Comparative Corruption, Sean Sullivan. Sean, Ben, good to have you on.
Is this a test?
Because actually, this is a study session.
Yeah,
this is actually a study session.
We're studying live.
Surprise.
So basically, how the show works, I was definitely vague in telling him how the show was going to work because, I brought this idea to him. I think that maybe the idea was I'm going to have you present your top 5 list. That is not the case. I brought you here to make the top 5 list. We are going to make the definitive top 5.
I like it.
Star Wars characters list.
One of mine is definitely not going to be on here then.
Here's how the show goes. And for those people who you might know how this goes. You might have seen on other channels differences. I know how to do this correctly. So how this goes is we have 3 different selection rounds. The first one is the nomination round. We are going to go around the table. We're going to nominate a different Star Wars character until we get to a top 7. We get to top 7. I'll explain from there.
Okay.
And now, rules for this, exception I'm making for this is I'm not allowing just movies. I'm allowing any form of canon to be acceptable for this.
That was one of the first questions she had.
So TV, video games, books, might be also me because I can't read, but all eligible. So I'm going to go first, just because I know how this is done. I'm going to go first, my first nomination. And I'm going with the man, the myth, the asthmatic legend, Darth Vader. What a transition that this character's made, going from a villain we loved to a child we hated, to a teenager we hated, to a grown man we hated, both intentionally and unintentionally, and then to a grown man we loved again. Thank you, Dave Filoni. I just think that he just has such a great arc. He has just such an iconic presence. The look of him is great, and when you think Star Wars, one of the first characters will come to your mind, if not the first character to come to your mind, will be Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go to Jill first. Jill, does Darth Vader make tops? Darth Vader said Anakin Skywalker make top 7.
Okay, I was going to say, does Anakin count?
Yes, it's the same dude.
Okay, because Anakin was in my top 5. So I will definitely put Anakin Darth Vader into this top 7. How could you not? He's the face of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the most evil, most recognizable villains in all of cinematic history. He has all these different arcs of turning villainous, becoming the hero. He has all these different storylines. 100%. 100% he's in the top. How could he not?
Yeah, so in order for a character to make the top 7, they need a 3/5 majority vote. I think what you might get, Mike, maybe the whole like yes, absolutely was maybe that was a way to try and make a smoke screen and then vote no. But you tell us, Mike, does Darth Vader make top 7?
100% he makes the top 7. Darth Vader has the greatest entrance into any movie of all time, does not say a word, and you knew immediately that this guy was the real deal. And from that point forward, he became maybe the greatest villain in not just Star Wars history, but just history. So, yes, absolutely.
All right, so that is it. Darth Vader is the first character to make the top 7. Sean, Bethany, you didn't get votes, but I'll go to you really quick.
I'm sure you agree.
I would have voted for him for the line, now this is pod racing.
That's the only line.
Only that line.
Let's try spinning.
Let's try spinning.
It's a vote for
That's
me.
a good trick. Sean, what would you say, man?
I would have said yes, absolutely. I think he's the number 1 character of Star Wars.
I mean,
No, he's not. He's not my favorite. But if we're going with if with the flip script, he gets number 1 spot in my head.
All right. Well, we'll see if he makes number 1 on our list because our list is law. I'm gonna go to you next, Sean. Sean, you get to give us your first nomination. Who do you think should make the top 7?
Okay, so because we're changing the script, I'm not going off my top 5 anymore. But I'm going to say no. I will. I'll say Kanan Jarrus.
Ooh.
Kanan Jarrus.
Vote against Kanan.
We need some cartoon representation. We need the most fleshed out character in the cartoons, and that's Kanan. He goes from stealing mining ships in A New Dawn to having this sorry for spoilers if you haven't seen Rebels, heroic sacrifice to save Hera and the rest of the crew of the Ghost, but mostly to save Hera. We know. It's just he epitomizes what it means to be a Jedi during the beginning of the Imperial era. And I think that Kanan's one of my favorite characters, so I'm putting Kanan in. I got nothing else to say about him.
It's good to lead with your heart. I like that on this show. I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because as of right now, I am not caught up with Rebels. I'm in season. Yeah, I missed the boat when it was actually on TV, and I'm just catching up now. So I didn't know that, but
forget everything I just said.
I'm sure if we go down the line, I'll give Kanan a yes, maybe. I do like Kanan a lot right now. But as of right now, I got to give this one a no. I'm going to Bethany didn't get a vote last, so I'm going to you next.
I'm voting. Okay. I love Kanan. It's really hard, but we're narrowing it down to 7 people.
Only 6 more
All
spots.
Star Wars canon.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 6 more spots because Darth Vader is locked in.
Correct.
So I'm so sorry, Kanan. I would like to apologize to Freddie Prinze Jr. personally, Dave Filoni, everyone out there who had a hand in creating this character. But I'm going to say no, only because there's 6 more spots, and I feel like there's better contenders out there. But I do love him, and he's a legend.
All right, so that is that's 1. It's 2 votes no. He's still alive though. But if either Mike or Jill vote no, then the case for Kanan is closed. Going to Mike next. Mike, Kanan Jarrus.
The problem is it's only 7, and you expand this list a little bit. The problem is that it is only 7, and Star Wars has so many great characters, and as much as great character as Kanan is, I'm looking at the list I have written down now. I'm like, oh my god, like I have huge names that I have to omit. Period. So unfortunately, that's a no for me.
Oh, so the case for Kanan is closed. Sorry, Sean.
Hey, I only have 1 huge character on my list. Everyone else is Kanan or lower. So
this
Kanan or lower. That's like some small shade towards Kanan, which I feel like he probably deserves. He's a great character.
Jill, what would you have said? Because you didn't get a vote.
You made a very solid argument that he is one of the better characters in the cartoon aspect of Star Wars, but I think there is a character that is better than Kanan, who I believe deserves to be in the 7, so I would have said no.
Overrated.
There are multiple spots. So Because there's one character better than Kanan. We're gonna just admit him entirely. Fair enough. All right, Jill. Since one would go character you would not admit entirely, because you get the next nomination.
Cool. So might as well just continue with what I was saying. The animated character who has now made her debut into live action is Miss Ahsoka Tano. She is my personal favorite Star Wars character of all time. I feel like I always say this. I don't know if this drives people crazy or this is even accurate, but I always saw Ahsoka being what Anakin would have been if Qui-Gon survived. Like Ahsoka is kind of what Anakin would have been. He wouldn't have turned to the dark side, probably would have left the Jedi Order, but would not have become Darth Vader. And that's kind of what I love about Ahsoka, is she is what Anakin should have been. She's a strong, badass female character, which I love and appreciate. And she has 2 lightsabers. So like, how could you
sold right there?
Sold. So I could literally go forever talking about my love for Ahsoka, but she's 100% my favorite character in Star Wars and deserves to be in this top 7.
I mean, it could have been Anakin if Obi-Wan just got off his ass, stopped crying, and used the Force heal. This is the thing now.
I mean, true.
Lazy ass. All right, so Ahsoka Tano is the next character up for voting. Mike, you sealed the deal on the last one, so I'm going to go to you first.
I think Ahsoka Tano is from outside of the new trilogy.
Just think carefully.
Yes.
And remember where you sleep.
Outside of the original trilogy.
That cat is comfy. I'll let you know right now. That cat is comfy.
Ahsoka Tano, outside of the original trilogy, is the character in Star Wars who made the most impacts. So, yes, I'm 100% going to say yes to Ahsoka Tano.
All right, that's one yes for Ahsoka. I'm going to go to Sean next. Sean, your choice just got shot down.
You put a pen and paper in my hand, so now I'm doodling.
He's drawing Ahsoka Tano now.
Look, I think I have to say yes to Ahsoka.
Because I'll murder you in your sleep if you don't.
I mean, I'll just hide the Ahsoka lightsabers in a spot you'll never find them.
No,
I think the amount of Ahsoka crap we have in our bedroom, not a sex thing, just on the shelf in there. The amount of Ahsoka crap we have in the bedroom, I have to say yes.
There's a lot of Ahsoka crap in our bedroom.
I mean, what you do? What you do in your spare time is not my concern. I'm not gonna judge, but
I'm glad. Thank you for saying yes, Sean.
I have to say yes.
I appreciate
all right.
you.
So that's it. Ratified. Ahsoka Tano is in the top 7.
That's your top one so far.
For me, I don't know if I've made top 7. I'm not obsessed on the list. I don't know if I would have voted for it. I'm glad it didn't come to me because I don't know how I would have voted on that. But Bethany, I'm sure you would have said yes, right?
100%. Yeah. No question. She's my number 1 overall.
All right. Well, you didn't get to pitch your number 1 overall, but Bethany, I'm giving you the next nomination. Who do you think should be in the top 7? Because we have 2 spots. We have 5 more.
All right. Well, if I didn't pitch my number 1 overall, I'm going to go with my number 2 overall. And that is obviously, if you'd like to call her princess, if you'd like to call her general, Miss Leia Organa herself. Let's say, I mean, so much I could say about Leia, but essentially she is the original trio, if you will. Mm-hmm. One of the more iconic, recognizable characters. I mean, those cinnamon bun rolls, buns of their own, iconic. But I think she kind of paved the way to all other, next generation badass females in Star Wars. If there's no Leia, if there's no, I think, kind of her banter with Han makes Han likable. Like, I mean, obviously Harrison Ford makes Han likable and we all love Han Solo, don't get me wrong. But I think that he becomes an even more redeemable and likable character because of how he plays off Leia. I think every character that Leia has a scene with kind of becomes more iconic and more likable because of her. I mean, obviously Carrie Fisher is a legend on and off screen. And I mean, come on, Princess Leia, you can't, like, she's part of the original trio. She's my favorite member of the original trio. She's both, equal parts feminine, but equal parts badass. I like that she's one of the characters. I always say this about Wonder Woman as well. A lot of times when men write women and they want to make them badass, they make them like men. And I think Princess Leia is one of those rare characters who's a badass female, but she is badass because of her, like, quote unquote feminine traits, her caring, her love, her kind of humanity, and all that kind of thing. So I think that she is definitely deserving of a top 7 spot.
All right, Princess Leia is on the table. I'm going to admit myself first because I did not get a vote last time, and you had me at cinnamon bun hair. It makes me crave a cinnamon roll, but no, I think everything you said about Leia is correct, and the performance is there. Granted, she has a few lines in the original.
Questionable line readings, yes.
I recognize a foul since I was brought on board. Pick an accent before you act, Carrie. But
Pick an accent.
She fixed it. Pick one.
She picks it eventually.
She figures it out.
She figures it out. She's
lands on one.
But no, yeah, I do think everything you just said is correct. And I mean, if I said no, I'm sure my mom would find this and hire a sniper to murder me in my sleep. So I think the theme of this episode is picking characters under duress. So, but that's not a problem with that. But Leia still deserves a spot. Gonna go to Jill next. Jill, Leia Organa, does she make the list?
I'm gonna be honest, and I will say that Leia was not in my top 5. I know, but I do think she does belong in the top 7 overall of best Star Wars characters because she paved the way for the Reys and the Ahsokas that we have in Star Wars currently. She was the OG badass female. She really is kind of my favorite part of the OG trio. And without her, both Han and Luke would be dead on Tatooine somewhere. So yeah, I think, and she's just iconic. So I also really love how she went from princess to general. Like, it just shows even more of her ultimate badassery. So I will put Leia in the top 7 of all time Star Wars characters.
All right, so Leia takes our 3rd spot on the top 7. Sean, Mike, you didn't get a vote. Sean, what would you say about Leia?
I mean, I feel like we have to say yes to Leia. Just like as soon as someone says Han or Luke, we have to say yes.
I don't know if I would.
You know,
we'll get there.
Well, yeah, we'll see if people do say yes.
But Leia especially is one you absolutely have to say yes to.
Mm-hmm.
You have no choice with Leia. She's fucking Carrie Fisher. How do you say no to that?
That's the original.
It's in the contract.
Carrie Fisher.
It's in the contract.
Pretty much.
I mean, I saw the verbs. I can say no to Carrie Fisher easily, but that's another conversation. Mike, what would you have said about Leia? And I just want to say, just for the record, Jill, if you're trying to get your entire top 5 on the list, we're gonna be here for a while because that's not how this show usually works.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've already accepted the fact that my top 5 is.
Yeah, I already know Cal Kestis isn't making it.
Oh, Cal Kestis? Is it Kestis or Kestis?
Kestis.
It's
Kestis.
I already know that C-3PO is not making this list, so I'm not even going to bother bringing him.
You
up.
never know.
Mike, what did you say about Leia? Are you abiding by the contract set forward by Sean Beard Sullivan?
Yeah.
Got to. Contractually obligated.
Leia was she was. I made my original list, and I was toying with 2 names for number 5. So yes, 100% is 7.
All right. Now, Mike, you're going to round us out for this particular round. You get to give your first nomination.
Going to go with a little bit different route. One of the only characters to appear in all 9 saga movies, and that's R2-D2.
My boy.
Who absolutely, I think, again, is a character who embodies everything that you want to be without ever physically, saying an actual understood word, with just through series of boops and beeps and just being calm in almost every scenario. And he is, even though he's a robot, he embodies all of the good that you want to see in the galaxy. All
right. So R2-D2 is on the table. Sean, you're not going to vote last time. I'm going to go to you first.
My drawing of R2-D2 isn't very good.
It looks like a trash can.
So I would say the only argument I have against R2-D2 is his abysmal usage in the sequel trilogy. But that's not the fault of the character.
That's not R2's fault. He didn't ask for it.
That's the fault of story choices.
Look, if sometimes you just got to go into PS5 rest mode. So
I mean, our PS4 never turns on anymore, and our BB-8 PS5 the new hotness. It's working fine. So
What? What was that?
Are we gonna say no?
No, all right.
Are you
Are you
gonna
comparing
say
the
PS4
PS4 to R2D2 and the
yeah,
PS5 to
R2D2 is the
BB-8?
PS4 and BB-8 is the PS5. What don't we get here?
Okay,
BB-8's
choices.
got grappling hooks. He's got a little thumbs up
He does do a
cigarette
good
lighter. No, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, R2D2 is one of my all-time original favorite characters. We just watched the scene where he lights the B2 battle droids on fire. So
Nice.
that scene alone gives it a hard yes for me.
And really quick, want to give a shout out. Some people in the chat. Eric Frederick, Prince was a promise, and hey Max, how you doing, man?
Maxwell.
Oh,
And I'm sure there are others in the chat who, if I'm not seeing you right now, I'm sorry, but it's scrolling. So
That's true. You got
anyway,
it.
so
he does.
Sean, just really quick, was your answer yes or no?
My answer is yes.
Okay, that's two
Got me
votes.
fooled for a minute. It was kind
I
of
know.
leaning, and then
I'm
you're like,
very
"Oh, yeah."
curious. So, I didn't know. I didn't understand. So I'm like,
I didn't know either. I kind of made a
all right.
gut call there.
Beth, I'm gonna go to you next. Does R2D2 make top 5?
So earlier I was talking about C-3PO and R2, and I said C-3PO is who I am. Very nervous, neurotic. Sometimes you're like, shut up. But R2 is who I want to be. Like R2 is who I aspire to be. Always there for a good time. Like the real hero is like, let's just go with the flow. C-3PO probably like cursing up a storm. Let's be honest. Like that again. Like I'm just like nervous C-3PO, and like R2 is like cool, locked and loaded, ready to go. Other plus for R2D2, literally the reason that Luke Skywalker got Grogu to like go with him, like straight up, like Grogu was like, I don't know, man, like you're Luke Skywalker and you're cool and all, but then like R2 rolled in and he's like, hells yeah.
Oh, that guy.
That's plus in his column. He's R2 is kind of, I think he's kind of the heart of it. And as weird as that sounds, because he was a droid who like makes beeps and boops, but every time he shows up, you're always happy to see him. And again, the fact that he was able to convince Grogu to go Luke Skywalker, I would say yes to R2D2.
All right, so R2D2 gets our 4th spot in the top 7. Jill, you didn't get a vote. What would you say? I love the argument of this lightsaber's cool and shit, but I want to go with that sassy garbage can.
He's like, look at that shiny
Garbage can. I would have said no because I can never forgive him for just not telling like Luke Skywalker that his father was Anakin. What were you doing, R2? Did you just want these people to go on an adventure and just not tell them?
No. R2 knows that he needs to learn that in order to.
But like,
It just reminds me like the prequel trilogy. Hey, or the sequel trilogy. Hey, asshole, you can fly.
yeah. And I'm gonna be honest. When we had like pick your top 5, I wanted my 5 to be a droid, and I was having a hard time picking a droid, and I ended up picking C-3PO solely for the scene in Rise of Skywalker where they all turn to him like he's stupid, and then he turns around to see who they're looking at when they're like looking at him the whole time.
Why don't you save it for if someone pitches C-3PO?
Because R2D2's up there. They're not going to put 2 droids.
We only get one. Affirmative action.
You only get 1 droid.
We've met our droid quota.
That's the droid quota. We got there.
You got to have one. You got to have one.
And if it's gonna be, no one's gonna. If there's other characters that are better than droids, so R2 met our droid quota.
Whoa!
Hey, L3
Droid discrimination.
Droid lives matter.
I did have a hard time between L3 and C-3PO because I love L3. Love L3.
All right.
If someone throws L3 up, I'll say yes because I said no to R2. So I will say that.
All right, I guess we have that to consider. But
I'm here for some dropper love if anyone else is.
Yes.
for me, I think that R2D2 is an interesting case. Kind of like a second time. I'm not upset that he's on the top 7. I don't know if I would have voted for him. I'm not upset he's on top 7, but it doesn't matter what I think. He's already in. And now we're coming back around. So back to me. And we have 4 spots taken. We need 3 to fill up to move on. And all right, goddammit, we have 4 spots. We don't have a Jedi. I know Darth Vader's on the list, but he doesn't count because he betrayed it and murdered several children. So
Several
children.
children.
Lots of children.
So, I'm something to I want to pitch, but I gotta go with my heart of hearts. I gotta go with Yoda. I gotta go just from the second you meet Yoda, cute little puppet that's replaced with horrifying CG and certain cuts. Just where he's like this, bumbling, annoying kind of presence, but then you're like, hey, guess what, dumb bitch? I'm a Jedi Master, and you're not ready. Get out of here. Smacking my cane. But no, just some of my favorite moments in this entire trilogy the entire original trilogy come with Yoda. Just like everything with him and Luke in the forest, and that's the one character in the movies, at least, that gave you a real understanding of what the Force is and how it works. I'm always happy to see Yoda, even if he's fighting with his stupid little lightsaber. But that's conversation for another day. But no, yeah, I love the Yoda. I love the I love the look. I love the philosophy. I love the form of Frank Oz. I think Yoda is absolutely deserving of a top 7 spot. So, Mike, you had the last vote. So, do you think Yoda should be top 7?
Yoda was one of my top 3. So yes, 100% Yoda has to be in this list. No brainer.
All right, and Jill, you did not get a vote last time, so Yoda, does he make top 3?
Top 7.
No, I will vote.
Yoda did not train Jedi for 800 years. This kind of disrespect.
He didn't make I don't like. I clearly understand the importance of Yoda. Like, obviously, he's this pivotal character in all of the trilogies of Star Wars, but he just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. No. It's a no. It's a no for me.
What's your Twitter handle? I gotta know if people
listen.
Comments.
It's Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's.
Got it. Okay. Send your comments. All right, so that's 1 vote yes, 1 vote no. I'm gonna go to Bethany next. Bethany, Yoda, does he make the top 7?
I feel a lot of pressure on this one. I'm a little torn. There's a lot of pros to Yoda. He's obviously iconic. If there is no Yoda, we never get a Grogu, essentially, because there wouldn't be a baby Yoda if there was never a design for an OG Yoda. I like the mystery around him, weirdly enough. I like that we don't know what his species is called, and so we have to call them Yodas for now. Just when people quote Star Wars, they quote Darth Vader and they quote Yoda. Everyone does the Yoda talk. That's iconic, obviously. We wouldn't have that bad lip reading Seagull song if it wasn't for Yoda, and that's a
Seagull's gonna get you.
Run, jump. I can be a backpack while you run.
A little problematic sometimes, like in the Clone Wars. I was like, Yoda, what up? Not cool. But I think that makes him an interesting character because then, obviously later in life, I think he is overall a very good master and a good teacher. And yeah, I think he's a well-rounded character. So you know what? I'm going to say yes. I've determined right now yes to Yoda.
All right. So Yoda takes the 5th spot on the top 7. John, you did not get a vote. What would you have said about Yoda?
I would have given Yoda the Noda because here's the thing. I could never unsee. I know that the modern versions, it's different, but I could never see. Chance, you bring up the CGI Yoda. The only thing worse than CGI Yoda is the original puppet Yoda they used in The Phantom Menace. That's now been edited over because it's so bad.
That's fair.
In the first one, he's CGI in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
But when it released, he was a puppet. And it was terrible.
Not good.
I mean, look, that was... If we're counting things bad with the Phantom Menace, that's number, 20?
There's a lot of things bad with the Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace.
Look, I'm less upset about the gnome, more to that you made that fucking pun, so...
I'm here for the pun. Always here for a pun.
All right, well, fine. Either way, you met him in the swamp a day go by. He said, fuck your shit, I'm on the top 7.
Just like that.
Sean, back to you. Your next nomination. Are we going with Cal Kestis?
No, we're not going to go with Cal Kestis. I love Cal Kestis. But I have 2 here that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that one of them someone else will have on their list. The other one,
Keep in mind,
there
are two spots left.
I know. So I'm going to go ahead and give my nomination to the one and only, the man in the mask, Boba Fett. If we're making the argument that we wouldn't have Grogu without Yoda, I will make the argument we wouldn't have Grogu without Boba Fett.
True.
We wouldn't have half of the Clone Wars arcs without Boba Fett. I wouldn't have this sick-ass skull on my wall. Boba Fett did so much in Empire Strikes Back with only uttering 5 words. 7 words. I counted.
That's a trivia question waiting to happen.
Yeah. How many words did he utter? I think it's 7. This would be a question I get 20 seconds for.
I'm pretty sure it's more than that. Go on.
Continue.
I count 10. He has 10 words.
We'll discuss this another time.
No, that's a stormtrooper that says that. But look, Boba Fett does so much, so imposing. So many questions come up in, why does Vader have to tell him no disintegrations? What the hell's going on with this character? Why does he want Han Solo so bad other than just the money? Because it almost seems like he's got some other vendetta against Han Solo. And he just looks probably the most badass looking character in the series. And then what they did with him in The Mandalorian, while still able to poke fun at him getting knocked into the Sarlacc pit, they made him this epic piece of Star Wars imagery. I was looking for words there. Sorry. We get to know his tragic backstory through Attack of the Clones. Thanks, Molly. We get to, we just.
Molly here. Oh, hey, Molly. How you doing?
We have so much Boba Fett from the Clone Wars, from Attack of the Clones, from The Mandalorian. He's getting his own series. He absolutely has to be in this list just for the impact of his character on the rest of Star Wars. He's in this list.
Okay. Going to me first because it's funny. This is one I didn't think would get brought up, but I mean, look at my goddamn shirt. Hell yes. I don't care if he makes the list or not. I gotta give this a yeah because growing up, this was my favorite Star Wars character. And yes, I know he doesn't get much to do in the movies and most of his story arcs in the books and other stuff, but either way, his moments in the movie is made, like you said, Sean, made a significant impact on me. So, yeah, I will definitely give this a yes. Gonna go to Mike next. Mike, Boba Fett, top 7.
Again, for me, when you asked us to do this, I was like, okay, is this going to be our best or our favorites? And I was like, okay, and I have a couple of characters who are in different lists, but you're talking one of my all-time favorites. So there's no way I'm going to say
He's about to
no.
make our top 7.
Apparently.
Yes, he is. Boba Fett.
There's so many better Mandalorians that could be on this list.
You did have.
I have 2 on my
He
list.
has 2 on his list.
It doesn't matter. He's on the list. So I bet I guess a little bit of no for you.
Yeah, that would have been a hard no for me. I will give Sean, him, because I, of course, use the Grogu Yoda argument, whatever. I will get that he paved the way for all Mandalorian lore and characters that we know. But there are so many other better Mandalorian characters that could have been chosen over Boba Fett.
Boba Fett's barely even Mandalorian at this point.
But so many other better people out there.
Is how the show goes. There's this one crazy ass decision that's made, but I love it this time. So, Jill, that would have been a no for you as well.
That would have been. He would have made my top 10 just because culturally, this character who really had 0 lines became this big, huge fan obsession of the original trilogy. Like that's just like how he was culturally affected Star Wars. Like I would have put him in my top 10, but in the top 7, there's definitely better Mandalorians out there.
There's also a lot of Boba Fett shit around the house.
There's also a lot of
I mean, it isn't that the real factor.
He would have made my top 10. He would have made my top 10.
There's a helmet.
Ahsoka is to females what Boba Fett is to males.
100%.
Own a bunch of Boba Fett. All female Star Wars fans own a bunch of Ahsoka stuff.
100%.
All right. So Jill, we have one more spot remaining. Who's it gonna be?
The fact that this person has not been mentioned is kind of surprising to me because he's my 3rd favorite of all time after Ahsoka and Anakin, and that's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ooh.
I love Obi-Wan Kenobi because he is fantastic in the prequels. Apologize. He's fantastic in the prequels. You get old man. You get so many variations of Obi-Wan. Like you get young Padawan Obi-Wan. You get Jedi Master Obi-Wan. You get old man Obi-Wan who, like, spoiler alert, but he freaking goes hand to hand with Darth Maul. Like, dude's a freaking beast no matter where you put him. He kind of, royally screwed up when it came to Anakin and keeping him away from the dark side. But, like, he is the reason why Luke Skywalker became Luke Skywalker. Without Obi-Wan Kenobi, we do not have Luke Skywalker. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi is definitely belonging in this top 7.
All right, so lazy ass non-Force heel using Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is he making the top 7? We're gonna go to Bethany first because you didn't get a vote last time.
This is so hard, but it's one spot left.
One spot.
So Obi-Wan Kenobi. Again, this is so hard because the moment that James Arnold Taylor said hello there to me, it was one of the greatest moments of my life. So it's very hard for me to vote against Obi-Wan because he's great. And again, just talking about like the iconicness of certain characters and certain things that even if you've never seen Star Wars, like people, anytime you're trying to teach someone is like, let me be your Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like that's just everyone knows that, like whether you have seen Star Wars or not. So I think he definitely, but I just feel like there's a few names that we haven't mentioned yet that I think are a little bit more deserving. So I'm going to vote no. I'm sorry, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's one no. Sean, going to you next.
Okay, so once again, Bethany's argument has changed my stance. So just like her argument for Grogu changed my stance on Boba Fett, her argument for Obi-Wan, in that James Arnold Taylor also voices Obi-Wan, which I honestly wasn't even thinking of when we're talking about old Ben. Yeah, of the 4 people to play Obi-Wan, James Arnold Taylor is probably one of my favorite voice actors of all time. I mean, he's fucking Ratchet in Ratchet and Clank. How do you say no to that? Easily. I will give Obi-Wan. What are we? We have one vote right now for Obi-Wan.
We got one yes.
One for, one against.
Yeah.
That's your nomination.
That's
yes.
my nomination. I won't be mad if you say no.
That's a lie.
I'll be slightly disappointed.
I'm going to give it a yes, and let someone else decide this one's fate.
Alec Guinness.
That vote yes was for you, James Arnold Taylor.
Alec Guinness, Ewan McGregor, James Arnold Taylor. Who's the 4th?
Rebels has a different voice actor.
Really? I didn't know that.
I believe it's Stephen Stanton.
I did not know that. I did not know that. Not bring back James, but okay, fair enough. Again, not caught up, so I wouldn't know that.
They bring him. So there's 2 different voice actors for Obi-Wan and Rebels. It's James Arnold Taylor first, and then later on, it's a different voice actor. I think it's Stephen Stanton.
All right,
don't quote me on that.
Too late.
You don't even know it.
I don't even know that one.
So who cares?
All right, so that's we're tied up 1-1. I'm gonna go to myself first. I'm gonna say no because there's a character I'd rather have on the top 7 than Obi-Wan. And I'm gonna put the pressure on Mike.
And this is no disrespect to Obi-Wan, but my number 1 is not on the list right now, so I have to say
Mine made it.
I made it too.
All right, so Obi-Wan Kenobi. Big upset. Does not.
Pour one out for you,
top
Obi-Wan.
7. Pour one out for you, old Ben.
Boo.
We're gonna go to, I think it's Bethany next. Bethany, your next nomination.
Okay. I'm just thinking about the song, but I don't know who sings it.
It's in Clerks.
So there is a character that's often mentioned yet, and he's a legend. This is a character who may have originally turned people off from going and seeing Star Wars, because as the legend goes with the trailers, and everyone was like, "What is that Bear Man thing?" But that Bear Man thing gives some of the best hugs ever. Because every time I had videos back in the normal times, I would go and give him a big hug because he's great. And that's Chewbacca, because come on, Chewbacca, what a Wookiee. I just think, again, going back to, like, some of my favorite characters are about, like, the heart and the soul of these movies and why we love them. And I think Chewbacca is kind of one of those characters, like I said, originally just kind of off-putting and weird to people, but I think it's one of the things that, yes, I see that. Yes, Sean. Let's go to Sean for his vote. But I feel like he also is one of the things in the original movie, back before we were calling it A New Hope, whatever, that really drew people in. Again, like, at first people were making fun of this trailer and they're like, what is that man-bear thing? And then they saw the movie, and, like, that was one of the things that helped kind of build the lore and make it alien and spacey opera-y and all that kind of stuff. And he's the best friend you could ever want. There's no Han Solo without Chewbacca. There's no Chewbacca without Han Solo, like that kind of whole thing. I just think he's, like, everyone has been campaigning for years for him to get his medal. Like, he is such a fan favorite. He is such a, the same reason I love R2-D2 is the same reason I love Chewbacca. Obviously, they're two characters that we don't understand very well by what they actually say, but we understand better than any of the human characters by their heart and their soul. And, I love that Maz Kanata has a big crush on him too. That's cute. Chewbacca would be, I just feel like he has to.
My boyfriend.
Gotta love him.
I guess it's all on Leia as well. Chewbacca was to get the medal after she died, because screw her. We're taking her off the list just for that. Chewbacca is on the table. Mike, I'm not going to make you decide this one again, so I'm going to let you go first.
It's the only Star Wars character I have a tattoo of. No brainer. Yes. Chewbacca, yes.
I mean, this version of Chewbacca, but yeah, he does technically have a tattoo of him.
That's 2 for Chewbacca. I'm going to go to Jill next. Jill, Chewbacca, does he make the list?
I do. I love Chewbacca. He's in the OG. He's in the sequels. He's in the prequel. He's in all of this. I love me some Chewbacca, but there's a plethora more character that I think deserve to be in this top 7. No shade to Chewbacca. I love Chewbacca, but I think there are, if we're going to round out the top 7, I think there are Star Wars characters that are more well-deserving than Chewbacca.
That's fair.
That's 1-1. I'm gonna go to myself next. I'm going to. Oh, stuff. I do love dogs. I do love dogs. And I have a penchant for not getting my arm ripped off. But I don't go to Galaxy very often, so if I say no, he's not going to find out. He's not going to murder me. So I'm going to say, well, I love Chewbacca. The dude's great, but again, like Dill, I think it's another character I'd rather put on this one. So sorry, Chewie, you're not making top 7, buddy.
Chewie.
I'm okay. So here's the thing. I'm just gonna cut the bullshit. I'm gonna say no on this one. And now part of this is because I don't think my Chewbacca drawing is very good.
I think it's cute. Drawing literally all
I just am not really happy with my Chewie drawing there.
Let me see if I can enlarge you.
That's so cute. I didn't realize you could like kind of draw.
I'll post it on Twitter at some point.
I like how Ben is in a wanted poster. Wanted order.
Yeah, now we got it on full screen. There we go.
We'll post it on Twitter at some point, I guess. But yeah, I just not stoked on my Chewie drawing, so I'm gonna give this one a no.
My drawing didn't pass, so he doesn't pass either.
And truth be told, again, there's at least 2 or 3 characters that need to be on this list that aren't here yet.
Well, you decided to put Boba Fett on there, so it took up some space.
One of the reasons
because he should be on the list.
Someone that shouldn't be here.
You're telling me I shouldn't put my all-time favorite character?
No, you have every right to
onto
fight
the
for your
list?
all-time favorite character to be on the list, but there are others that should definitely be on here.
Well, Chewbacca, one who's not going to be on here is Chewbacca. So we're still trying to fill that last spot.
Really?
Mike, you have the guy to do it.
Oh.
Or go.
Okay,
You could do
so
it. I don't know.
We
Shaka T.
just went with Chewbacca, and I'll go with the obvious Han Solo. Because Han Solo, to me, you know, as much as you wanted to point to the Force and everything that was wrapped around the Force and everything going on, you have the guy who doesn't want to be there, who winds up being the biggest linchpin of the entire series. And yes, I like to joke with her that it's Greedo, but no, it's Han Solo. He's the lovable scoundrel, and just everything with Han Solo to me is everything that made Star Wars great. Shades of gray, but then he comes around at the end, has some of the best lines in cinema history, and in 2 words, had the greatest answer of all time. I know.
I know.
It is in fact great. All right, Han Solo is on the table. Sean, you broke the tie last time. I'm going to go to you.
He's on my list, so he gets in. Look, he is the template for so many movie heroes to come after him. You know, so many people say that Indiana Jones is just Han Solo in a fedora. Like, Harrison Ford's whole acting career, basically, yes, I know he was in American Graffiti, but Harrison Ford's whole acting career basically is different versions of Han Solo. For the most part, I didn't see the one with the CGI dog, so I couldn't tell you.
You're not missing a whole lot.
But like, you know, it's just when it comes down to it, all boys want to be Han Solo and all girls want to be Princess Leia. Now, sure, girls probably want to be Rey because she gets a lightsaber, but
Leia had a lightsaber.
I got one.
She did have a lightsaber. But she didn't have one.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
She had one briefly.
You know, it like Han Solo is this pure charisma, pure luck, pure buffoonery. He is the scoundrel. He is the swindler. He is an ace pilot. He doesn't have the Force. He's not being guided by some mystical, you know, mumbo jumbo to be a hero. He just is a hero, whether by accident or by purpose.
By accident.
You know, he's a hero. One of the most impactful moments in A New Hope is when you're watching Luke go down the trench run, and then you see Vader's tie bounce into the tie next to it and out of the trench.
Mm-hmm.
And that only happens because of Han Solo.
Mm-hmm.
That's a yes.
All right, so that's an emphatic yes from Sean Sullivan for Han Solo. Jill, on the top 7.
I do want to first start out by saying make Solo 2 happen. Because Solo is
don't
a
cater
great
to
film.
them. Don't.
You agree? Make Solo 2 happen. Now, if we had 5 people currently on this list instead of 6, I would 100% put Han Solo on here. But I think there is one integral character that is missing from the top 7 Star Wars. Thank you. From the top 7 Star Wars characters of all time. And there's one more character I would put on top of Han Solo.
I'm sorry, Grogu's not making.
I wasn't going to say Grogu. Grogu wasn't in my top 5.
I was thinking of Grogu. No.
Grogu, guys. So like I said, if there was 5 on the list right now, I would 100% put Han Solo on here. But I'm gonna have to say no. I think there's more character.
Level is B. Arthur from the holiday special, right? That is canon.
100%
Round on the house.
All right, so that's 1 yes, 1 no. Bethany, going to you next.
Oh God, I had an answer. I did. I'm going to be like the opposite of Sean this time, where when Sean was giving his answer, and they have swayed me in a different direction. because I had an answer when you first pitched him. I was leaning one way, and I really agree that there are a lot of names we have not mentioned that we probably should mention. But my one thing with Han Solo that kind of was leading me toward a no was that I hate a lot of the copycat characters that have come after him. Because sometimes people can write it well and sometimes they can't, and also depends on the actor you have. Not everyone is Harrison Ford and can pull it off. But then I thought that's not really like Han Solo's fault. How many that Hollywood is lazy and just kept making every I'm a bad boy, but I'm also got a heart of gold heroes. That's not Han Solo's fault at all. He's still a great character, and Harrison Ford still portrayed him really well. So that's not very nice of me to hold that against him. And I do think, as someone who grew up on a lot of these hero journeys like everyone else did, and there is always the chosen one in each story, I like that there is a character that is every equal parts as heroic as the chosen one and has no special abilities. It's all whether or not he decides he wants to fly that hunk of junk back and help save the day. So I think that's a very admirable thing, especially in a space opera where there is all these space wizards and such. So yeah, long preamble aside, I'm really surprised I'm saying this, but I vote yes to Han Solo.
I thought you were gonna go no after all that whole spiel.
Me too.
No.
Really, the second he pitched him, I was like, no, definitely no. There's names you haven't mentioned yet, and then I was like, but I do like that. He's a good guy, and he doesn't have any special powers. That is,
he's the good guy, and people like him, and he shoots the blasters and the.
See, I'm neurotic like C-3PO.
All right. Well, doesn't matter what I think, but that is it. Our top 7 is solidified. I would have
I
said
cannot
yes.
believe that Luke Skywalker is
I
not.
was gonna, how is Luke Skywalker not on this list right now?
So yeah, before we go to the next round, I like to go for on mentions. I mean, yeah, the obvious one, Luke Skywalker. I want to throw some love to my boy, the first black dude in the galaxy, and maybe the only as far as the original trilogy goes. Lando Calrissian. He's smooth.
I probably would have, when you said him, I probably would have said yes.
Smooth
I probably would've said
like
yes to Lando.
Tennessee whiskey, and just sexy to be. Got a lot of capes. Doesn't matter what incarnation. And for the love of God, if for the Lando show, please bring back Donald Glover, please.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they have to.
They have to. You need to. Disney, Lucasfilm, you're watching this. I know you are. Please bring back Donald Glover.
You got the money. So
I also want to throw some love for some newer characters. Finn from Force Awakens, The Force Awakens specifically.
Right.
Even in Last Jedi. I love Last Jedi, but man, he gets the
Another one?
He gets the. It's ironic that Finn is the black guy because he really gets the shaft in that last one. Also, Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is the one thing. I think he was probably maybe the most consistent character throughout that new trilogy.
Kylo was in my top 5.
Yeah, I like Kylo Ren a lot. And I want to throw some from Rogue One, and I'm going to shout out Chirrut Imwe, played by Donnie Yen. When I saw that movie, he was the character that stuck out to me the most. I love Donnie Yen as a martial artist. I think he was excellent in that movie. So, yeah, that's it for me. I'm going to go to Jill. I feel like Sean has the most interesting honorable mentions. So, Sean, I'm going to go to you first for your honorable mentions before we move on to the next round.
My honorable mentions, Cal Kestis, which I mentioned already, Bo-Katan Kryze, and my boy, the one and only, Ben Quattro.
Yes.
Ben Quattro, Spider-Man's Victor.
Not really. He wasn't on my list.
But
Now I'm a little disappointed.
Jill, anyone you want to mention before we move on?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to the first real true asshole droid, which is Mr. K2SO. Give me some sass.
Hey, R2D2 is the asshole.
Actually, R2, but the first who could straight up tell you that you're being.
You knew what he was saying.
Right.
Yes.
I think the anonymity helped R2 be an asshole.
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to Hera. I absolutely adore Hera, and I love everything about her. And then I think everyone else I mentioned or made my list, so I was pretty happy about that.
All right, cool. Bethany, anyone else you want to mention before we move on?
Yeah, most of the people I did get to mention. I would put Sabine Wren up there. She's obviously a great character. I would say Ray as well. I know some people have issues with her and they think that she's a Mary Sue. I think she's a great character. And yeah, the moment that she got the lightsaber in Force Awakens, I openly bawled in the movie theater because as a little girl, I'd been waiting for that moment my whole life. I was like, I waited 20 years for that moment.
It's been 84 years.
That definitely was up there for me. Chopper, I kind of gave a little shout out to earlier.
I was going to say Chopper.
Why is every droid in Star Wars an asshole? Literally, every single droid in Star Wars is an asshole.
Not.
No, C-3PO is an asshole. I can't translate Sid.
Dio's not an asshole.
But he's definitely not as asshole-ish as other ones. Chopper is just straight up an asshole.
Chopper is just a straight up dick. Yeah.
Those are
every droid in Star Wars. R2-D2, asshole. BB-8, asshole. Chopper, asshole.
Very big personalities.
That Dio wasn't an asshole. He was just
who is making these droids?
Yeah, Dio was like a poor intern animal who was like, I can't.
But that's why Dio's an asshole. Moving on.
Thank you.
Anyone else gonna mention Bethany? Or is that it?
I'm probably forgetting someone, but I think that's what. Oh, I mean, I'm repping her on my sweatshirt today. I love Padme. Yeah, she would definitely be an honorable mention. She probably wouldn't. No offense, Padme, because I love you dearly. She wouldn't actually make my top 5, but she would be like right below it, like that 6th spot. So Padme is definitely my girl. Best fashion in all of Star Wars, if anyone's counting her outfits over the prequel trilogy.
So many impractical outfits.
Yes, and I
especially love the instant crop top she gets in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I ever get slashed by a tiger, I hope I look that good.
Yeah.
If I ever get slashed by a tiger, I want my shirt turned to a crop top for the
instant crop top.
A perfect crop
Mike,
top.
anyone you want to mention before we move on?
So I have a few names. The one that I would have actually like I said, I had a list of favorites and a list of bests, and on my favorites is Maul. And I know he probably wouldn't have made the outright 7, but in terms of my personal favorites, he's 100% there. The other 3 I want to say are I think the most bang for buck characters in Star Wars. One of them is Maz Kanata, because every time she's on screen, I wish we knew more, but I also don't wish we knew more, because she was just, everything she did was perfect.
I like that Wookiee.
Yeah, exactly. The other one, I'm wearing his shirt. I don't know if you can see it, but it's Babu Frick, who.
Oh, that's cool. I love that shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
That's cute.
Babu Frick, again, like he's only there for whatever it is on screen for 3 or 4 minutes, but every minute he's there, you were just delighted by him.
Babu Frick was the Grogu before we got Grogu.
Right, exactly.
That is, we had him already.
Actually.
What was the Grogu before we got Grogu?
Grogu was Grogu before Grogu.
Oh, Grogu was before Babu Frick, huh?
Yeah, we had him already. He was there.
But like Grogu was like a week old when we got Babu.
I guess the pre-Grogu was what, Wicket?
Yeah,
probably Wicket.
Yeah.
Porgs, I would say.
Porgs. Just the blatant marketing tool. But go ahead, Mike. You have one more.
The one who I would have had the most fun bringing up for an argument is Wilro Hood. Just running with his ice cream.
Wilro Hood is a true legend. That's
it's not an ice cream maker. It's a Camtono.
Yes, we have
got a word for it.
Ice cream maker to me.
Please do that when celebration is here. Can we do the running of? Okay, cool.
Really quick before Jamal, I lied. 2 more I forgot to mention. One, and this is personal for me. Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Purple lightsaber is just. I know how stupid it is, but at the same time, I love purple lightsaber.
Great.
And also, like as a black kid, I like seeing a black Jedi on screen, even if it was just for a movie. He just fought some droids and shit, and then he got his hand whipped off because Anakin Skywalker's a bitch. But
fuck Anakin.
Fuck him.
Fucking Anakin.
But last one, I think this is this thing where like we don't have the full picture yet, but I think if we did this list like a few years down the line, I think Din Djarin might make it.
Yeah,
because so far he has the makings of being one of the best characters in Star Wars. Period. I think he's at a disadvantage for being like only like 2 seasons of the show so far.
I agree.
I was real like my spot that was Boba Fett was Din Djarin / Boba Fett when I like initially.
Right.
But once we changed the topic, I'm like, okay, yeah, Boba Fett.
I'll only say Boba Fett over Din Djarin because we wouldn't have Din Djarin without Boba Fett.
All right. So that is it for the nomination round. Pretty par for the course on this show. So looking at our top 7, what we have so far, we have, just a reminder, Darth Vader, Ahsoka Tano, Leia Organa of Alderaan, R2-D2, Yoda, Boba Fett, and Han Solo. If my thing would just display... There we go, Boba Fett and Han Solo. My thing is not displaying again, but you get the point. You know what we're doing here. We know what we're doing.
Hey, there
it is. Okay. So now we have our top 7. Thing is, the show is not called the top 7 with Chance Ellison. This is called the top 5 with Chance Ellison.
We're getting rid of 2?
Yes. Yeah. See, now we come to the cutting round.
I can do that.
We bulked up. Now we got to cut. So this is basically the antithesis of round 1. We are going to go around and nominate character we don't think should move on to the top 5. And Jill seems pretty clear cut on where she's going with this.
Yeah. Bye, Boba Fett. Sorry. No. You took up the Luke Skywalker spot, Boba Fett, so you are off this list.
You know what you did, Boba Fett.
You know what you did,
You know what you did.
Sit down.
All right, so let me just go back to my list. Boba Fett is up on the chopping block. Sean, this is your vote. This is your nomination. Does he move on to top 5 or does he get cut?
Oh yeah, he's staying.
Of course he's staying.
He's not going anywhere.
All right. So that's 1 vote for him to stay. Bethany, I think you seem pretty solidified on where you're going.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree. Bye-bye, Boba Fett.
All right. That's 2 votes for him to go. 1 more, and he's off the list. Mike, Boba Fett?
You never bet against the Fett man. He stays.
Oh, so I should have gone. I should have gone earlier. Boy. Oh, my God. Oh.
Come on, Chance. Look at this list, Chance.
I know. I'm looking at the list. This is tough because I love Boba Fett. Is he the most defined character in Star Wars? I love the guy, but and I'm not gonna pull a. If I say no, I'm not gonna pull a Jake Yakoveta and start taking my clothes off on stream. But
please, Jake.
I'm sorry, buddy. I gotta cut him.
Bye,
Boba.
I'm happy with him. I didn't even think he make top 7. I'm happy with that.
Just so long as he makes top 7, that's all we need.
That's all we need. That's all that matters. So
the fact that Boba Fett was on here and not Luke Skywalker is a straight up crime.
All right. You know what, Sean? Your pick got cut. I'm going to give you the next slice. Who's next on the chopping block?
It's tough.
I think it has to be Yoda. Because I think Yoda does the least for this list. Like, I'm not going to argue anything about Yoda here. I'm going to argue something about every other character, right? Vader is the most iconic villain of all time. Leia is one of the most iconic female heroes of all time. Ahsoka is our first Jedi female character to get a main character slot in Star Wars.
Okay, I want to say Shaka Tia like a word. She did not die 6 times. This kind of disrespect.
A main character.
A main character.
R2 is literally the droid. He's right here on the desk. The boy R2.
I like how you were just
right here. And Han Solo is the consummate scoundrel, the consummate.
I know. I should have learned this lesson by now, but again, I forgot how to do this show. So.
I think it has to be Yoda on this list. Yeah, sure, Yoda's a great mentor, but I would argue that I think Obi-Wan makes a better mentor figure than Yoda because he does have failings, right? Even Yoda himself says the greatest teacher failure is, right? Yoda barely fails in the series. Like, sure, he mispredicts something in the prequels.
But when he fails, he decides to flee to an entirely different planet and isolate himself.
As opposed to Ben Kenobi, who did
That's
what
not
exactly?
helping anyone, Yoda. That doesn't help.
Ben took an active role. Ben took an active role in guarding Luke.
Right.
Oh, shut up.
You need to finish Rebels, Chance.
I'm done allowing this kind of disrespect to my boy, my dog, as DMX would say, because I'm sure he's a big Yoda fan. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea. But Yoda, this is my nomination. Yoda stays. Fuck you. He's staying. The dude is maybe the greatest Jedi of all time. He completely embodies just the idea of the Force and the fact that like the Force is the Jedi's greatest weapon, not the lightsaber. So yeah, no, Sean, you're lucky I'm not dropping you right now. Jill's already ordered corruption merch. I don't want to do that to her. So he stays. I say he stays. Jill?
So I'm gonna be honest. I had Yoda in my top 5 until this one started talking.
Damn it, Sean.
Did it again.
Because
hey, 4 years of speech and debate had to have gotten me something.
He's totally right. Because I'll say this now. R2 was my number 6, who would have been my next to vote off. But everything you just said about Yoda is 100% true. R2 has been there.
It's true, all of it.
It's true. Fuck. R2.
The trash can is still here. I forgot.
R2 has literally been here. Like has been through everything, literally. And because of what you said, I am giving Yoda the chopping block.
All right, wow. So that's 1-1. Going to Bethany next, considering that you have a Grogu doll right next to you. Are you gonna cut his daddy?
I'm just saying, looking at the 6 remaining characters we have left, there are 2 and only 2 characters on here that have a Weird Al Yankovic song. Yoda is
it's true.
By Weird Al rules, Yoda. And that's not reasoning.
Okay.
Also, because when we went to a show, there was an interpreter, and so I learned how to say it in sign language. And it's
is that Yoda in sign language?
Yep. Yoda in sign language. I learned it in Star Wars, and it was a great concert.
I will say I have also.
And this is Yaddle.
Is that Yaddle?
Yeah, Yoda and Yaddle.
Yaddle.
Yeah, if you're wondering.
I've also seen Weird Al in concert. He's great.
I made that.
I know
up.
you did. We all know.
All right.
It really was Yoda.
That's freaking cute. I love that.
2 for him to go and 2 for him to stay. Mike, comes down to you.
Oh, wow. This is tough because when I made my original list of 5, like before we even started this, yes, Yoda was in the list. And I'm going through all of the names right now. And there's 2 of them that I outright will not cut whatsoever. And then there's 4 of them that I'm like, all right, I have to do a weighted scale of them. And looking at this list, I'm just by a hair gonna say Yoda's gone.
Oh,
just by a hair.
Weird Al song. How dare you?
I agree with that.
Yoda, Yoda.
Wow. Okay. Just really, I just gotta wrap my head around what just happened.
Do you want us all to leave, Chance? Do you need a minute?
I might need a minute. I might need a minute.
Because I voted to keep him around.
Yeah. So let me just update my list here. So yeah, it looks like evidently something I did not think would happen. Yoda is gone. Yoda is no longer a part of this list. He does not get to continue. He has been voted off the island. Also, I think we need to acknowledge this.
That's not a punishment. I like this couch.
Comfortable, but
It is, I can imagine it is a comfortable couch. So yeah, we now come to the final portion of the show. This is the ranking round. So we have our top 5 characters. And so now we come to the part where we get to rank. We get to see who is in fact the best of the best. So how it's going to go is we're just going to go around with we're just going to go around. A spot on the list can be up for debating or voting, and you get to write what character you think belongs in that particular spot. So, people, will you please go ahead and write what character you believe should be in the 5 spot?
okay.
And this is like whenever you're ready. Not like timing anybody, just whenever you're ready. Looks like we're all ready. I'm gonna go first. I said sassy trash can. So R2D2. All right. Gonna go to Bethany next. Bethany, who do you think should go in the 5 spot?
Han Solo.
All right. Mike.
Ahsoka.
Ooh.
All right. Going to Jill.
Beep boop.
Oh, so Archer's got 2. So if Sean said, to see what Sean said, this could go to a tiebreaker again. Sean?
I'm pulling it up right now. Oh, won't load. I said R2D2.
R2D2 gets the number 5 spot.
Number 5.
All right, now, same thing. Now go on and say who you think should be in the number 4 spots.
I think we're gonna. That's fashion trash can. Or a popcorn maker, in our case.
Cookie jar, R2 Sweet Tooth. All right, I think everyone's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, I'm going to give you first this time.
Leia Organa Solo.
Okay, I've even got the hyphenated. Jill.
I also said.
I think she's just copying my answers.
I am not. I swear to God, I'm not. I'm not even looking at your paper.
Mike, I don't believe your answer changed.
No, it has not changed.
And I'm on there with you, Ahsoka Tano.
Oh!
Going to Bethany, did you say either of these 2 characters?
With Leia's baby daddy?
Oh, that's right. You still have Han. Oh, it's right. You still have Han Solo. So it's got to be a tiebreaker. Who goes in the 4 spot? Is it going to be Leia or is it going to be Ahsoka Tano?
I don't think either of them deserve 4 because they're 1 and 2. Am I writing it down or do I just tell you?
You can just say it.
I'm gonna say Leia then.
All right, Leia gets the number 4 spot on the list.
I'm sorry.
Now,
I love it.
same thing. We're going to number 3. Who do you think should be number 3 on the list?
I'm gonna. Okay, you know
Why
what?
is it gonna change?
I'm gonna change it mine.
I mean, Mike is employing the top 5 strategy of everybody. Just like if it doesn't get on the spot you want, keep going.
She's copying my answers.
Swear to God, I numbered them on my other paper. I swear to God, I'm not.
So, gonna go to Bethany first. I'm pretty sure your answer hasn't changed.
Actually, I did change it this time.
Really?
I'm gonna say Darth Vader.
All right, Mike, I'm pretty sure you haven't changed then. Okay, yeah, neither have I. So, Sean?
Han Solo.
And
Sean, we could have been sympathetic.
going to Jill.
Han Solo.
So I think I know where this is going. So, Bethany, your tiebreaker again.
Well, I'm gonna go back to then what I was trying to get the last 2 spots, and I will say Han Solo.
Would have been a little bit of clean sweep if you didn't change your vote. So, regardless, Han Solo is the number 3 spot. So this is it. We're not voting on 2s. We go straight to 1. Who do you think is the number 1? Who should be the number 1 character on the list?
Oh, okay.
Because we don't.
Got it.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna put it.
Great.
2 left. Yes. Okay. I know what everyone's gonna say. Except maybe me and Jill.
We'll see. We'll see.
Guys, I know what y'all are gonna say.
All right. Going to. Oh, since you opened your mouth, I'm gonna go to Bethany first.
Ahsoka Tano.
All right, Mike.
Darth Vader.
Jill.
Heavy breathing.
Sean. All right, doesn't matter what I said, but I said the same thing. Darth Vader makes the top spot on the list. So, just to recap, our list, which is based entirely in science, goes as follows. These are the definitive top 5 Star Wars characters, because my word is law. So, number 5, R2-D2. Number 4, General Princess Leia Organa Solo, Esquire. Number 3, her baby daddy, Han Solo. Number 2, Ahsoka Tano. I forget where the H goes in this name.
AH.
It's AH? Okay, so I had that the first time.
Oh, is it? I've been spelling it wrong all day, too.
It's AH.
Okay, so it is AH. Okay, so
yes.
Yeah, I always forget how to spell this thing.
That's
and the number 1 Star Wars character of all time, the man himself, Mr. Darth Vader. Oh, this was I now realize why I wanted to keep doing this, because this is the fun show. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves.
Yeah,
that was fun.
So
I'm not mad at this top 5. I'm not mad.
That's a good. I think we.
Oh Lord, we have a dog jumping out our speakers.
Coming in. I think she might be mad at this list. Are you mad that there was no Ewoks?
All right. So that's going to be the show. Mike, I want to say thank you for joining us. Mike, Bethany, anything you want to plug before you head out?
Yeah, I mean you can we relatively new, but we do What the Show every Tuesday night. This coming week we have Kate Mulligan on with us, so
11 Eastern time.
Yeah, and the two of us occasionally here and there. Occasionally we'll have a couple of drinks and do a movie drunk review. And we'll have one of those up relatively soon. Hopefully, if you have ideas, let us know what you want us to watch.
I've seen their drunk reviews; they're really funny. So go check those out. Jill, Sean, anything you want to plug before we head out?
Yeah, sure. You can catch me over on A Certain Point of View, where we are a Schmodown after show, and you can catch me, Molly Damon, Alex Damon, Sean Sullivan, Brandon Hanna, and Sabrina Ramirez on the Happy Hour over on Certain Point of View. This Saturday, we will be playing a drunken version of the Newlywed Game. So it's going to be lots of fun. So we'll see how that goes.
Do you need a host?
We have Abby Friel hosting, yeah.
That's even better.
Yeah.
All right. John, anything you want to
aside from that, you can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Sean Sully, where generally I get drunk and play Star Wars games or paint things. Sometimes, like last night, more drunk than I intend, and Alex Damon shows up to make us win. So, anyways, I barely remember last night, but I was told it was very entertaining.
Alex Damon was there. Yeah, it was fun.
All right. Twitter's GoChatSports_91 for me. Subscribe to the channel, like this video. Hopefully, this should come out good. Again, I'll have to watch the replay later just to make sure I can do this in the future. But top 5 is back. We're looking to do this weekly, and next week the topic picked out is going to be a really interesting one. So I hope you guys tune in for that one. And it's going to do it for us here, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
If I can end this goddamn broadcast.